We're heading towards our 5th anniversary now. The shop became vacant, and at the time I was working for another wool shop which sadly was closing one of their branches, so I was going to be leaving anyway, and I'd always dreamed of having a little wool shop, so it seemed the appropriate time to set up and try it. Last year we won Best Window Display. It's normally judged by the Cubs, Brownies, Scouts, so we try and make it to appeal to children as much as anything. I have entered every year, and it was the first year I've won, so I was quite chuffed when they came in with the certificate. But we do put a lot of effort in. It takes us a couple of days really to get the window right, so it is a thrill when you win. That's nice. We just do everything really. Chunkies, which are, if you do want quick results, they're the best thing to go for. Generally knit on a 6mm pin. Super chunkies if you want even quicker results, that's on a 10mm pin. And then various double knits, which are your bright colours. 4-ply if you want to do socks or anything a bit finer, and then generally this is the baby section where all different plies of wool, from chunky to 4-ply and 3-ply, so it's just whatever design you want to create from it really.
Morning.
It's a bit nippy out there today.
Yes, it is. I've just run out.
Oh right, so look then, what do you
That
think?
one
Right.
and that one.
If you try to create the old-fashioned sort of wool shop, you know, you can go to your big department stores and buy yarn, but we sort of interact with all our customers. You know, we're very hands-on. Lovely, thank you. Shall I pop it in your bag?
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank
See you again.
Thank you. We've not really explored online. I know we should, and it will happen in the future because, you know, you've got to move forward. But it's one of those products that really you do need to touch. And I like the quaintness, and I like the one-to-one with the customer. And customers become good friends as well. We share each other's lives. You know, to me, they have grandchildren. You know, they talk about all their lives. So, yeah, it becomes very interactive.
It's getting heavy in this now.
See you later.
Okay, thanks a lot.
See you,
Bye-bye.
bye. You see, it's quite therapeutic because it's so repetitive. You do sort of get into a bit of a dream with it when you're just doing simple knitting. I can knit and watch television when I'm upstairs, but I just like the peacefulness really of not having anything in the background. I just like it to be quiet. That's just garter stitch. The first stitch that most people tend to learn, just the knit stitch. New knitters can tend to knit probably more tight than loose, and then that becomes a bit of a challenge because they're really struggling to get the pins in. But once they relax and sort of let it flow, they find it more therapeutic than when they're really struggling. I do find actually I can normally tell somebody's personality by the tension they knit. I find that if people tend to knit tight, they tend to be a bit more tense generally, and people that knit quite loosely tend to be a bit more come day go day. One of my grandmas and my mum both knit, and that's where it came from. I mean, I've never had any sort of formal lessons. We didn't learn it at school or anything like that, so it's got to be family. But it's that long ago. I think it's before I could start having a proper memory. When we get a new yarn, I have to experiment with it really and just be confident, because I like to know that everything that I sell, how it is, how it knits. So most of the yarns that we've got in the shop, I've at least made a little hat or a little child's cardigan or something with it, just so that people can see it and feel it. Because things like this, it knits like that. That isn't lots of different yarns. That pattern just evolves as you knit the wool. But on the ball, that's what it looks like, you know, so you can't put the two together. And then this one, it's called a cake yarn, and everything in that ball, including the pattern, is there to create something like this. And you start knitting at one end and just knit and knit and knit according to the pattern, and it just changes colour. So it makes it look like you can do something really special, which is what we all want to do really. My vision of a wool shop was sort of sitting in the corner knitting all day and not really opening the door to let customers in here, just sort of sitting and enjoying it. So, you know, it's not exactly as I imagined it when I was about 7, but we are quite happy the way we tittle through.